At dusk, a shadow slips through branches. A cat drags a heavy body up a tree and hangs it like a trophy. Why does this stealth predator stash its kills alone? This is the leopard, Panthera pardus. The question drives us. How and why does this quiet killer haul carcasses into trees, severing prey from the world below to consume in isolation? It's not merely hoarding. It is a brutal, efficient survival strategy honed by hunger, danger, and cunning. Tonight, we follow claws, muscle, and ancient instincts into the dark. The leopard is a paradox. Elegant and merciless, solitary, secretive, capable of extraordinary violence. Its body is designed to hunt, kill, and then conceal the evidence of the crime. Drag and hoist behavior raises a single eerie image, a body swinging among leaves. That image reveals survival pressures, competition, scavengers, and a predator's need for uninterrupted feeding. This is a story of hunger and strategy, told in muscle and fur. We peel back layers of anatomy, neurology, and ecology to explain the macabre tree-hoisting ritual. Across Africa and Asia, the leopard repeats this act. Different habitats, same secret. From dense jungle to dry savanna, the leopard's ghostly silhouette defines the misunderstood brutality of nature. How can a solitary cat lift prey heavier than itself and hide it from lions, hyenas, and vultures? The answer lives in bone, tendon, and the nervous system. We will dissect claws and vertebrae, map senses and neurons, replay hunts, and examine the costs of solitary dining. Expect cruelty, cleverness, and biological perfection. First, the body that makes tree theft possible. Not magic, not myth. A suite of physical tools, sharpened by selection, that transform a cat into a specialist hoister. Leopards are compact powerhouses. Thick forelimbs, short, robust backs, and massive shoulder muscles generate explosive torque. They are built to drag and heave with surprising force. Their scapula and clavicle configuration allows a long stride and exceptional reach. When a leopard pulls, every fiber of the foreleg converges into a single brutal motion. The skull houses a shearing bite, masseter muscles that crush windpipes and cervical vertebrae. A swift, lethal clamp ends struggle and secures prey for transport. Retractable claws act as grappling hooks. They dig into flesh and tree bark alike, anchoring both prey and predator while the leopard strains upward. The long tail is a counterbalance, a living rudder. As weight shifts with a suspended carcass, the tail corrects balance with precise micro-adjustments. A flexible spine absorbs the shock of jumps and supports sudden elongation during the haul. Each vertebra distributes force, preventing catastrophic injury during extreme lifts. Fast twitch muscle fibers give leopards explosive power. Those fibers fire like military units. Short, devastating bursts to wrestle prey and climb with it slung in jaws. Night vision, whisker sensing, and acute hearing turn darkness into a mapped hunting ground. The leopard detects subtle rustles that betray sleeping antelope or a lone warthog. Tapetum lucidum reflects light, enhancing low-light vision. A leopard's eyes pierce dusk, finding silhouettes and gaps where prey can be intercepted and dragged unseen. Smell reads territory like a manuscript. Scent tracks lead to kill sites, to competitors, and to the safest trees. Olfaction helps decide when a carcass must be elevated. Their nervous system coordinates violent choreography. Grasp, lift, climb. Motor neurons synchronize hundreds of muscle fibers to perform lifts that seem impossible for the animal's size. Every lift costs calories. Leopards weigh the cost of hauling a heavy carcass against the risk of losing it to scavengers. Their decisions are survival economics in fur. After a heavy meal, their metabolism slows. Stashing meat preserves energy and prevents risky daytime hunts. The tree becomes a refrigeration unit and a fortress. Compared to lions, leopards are smaller but more arboreal. Their limb proportions favor climbing. This divergence explains why they adopted tree-hoisting while bigger cats did not. Selection favored individuals who could protect kills from vultures, hyenas, and the even deadlier social carnivores. Hoisting was a behavioral innovation that improved survival. There are limits. Leopards rarely hoist prey more than their own weight. Yet, they manipulate limbs, roll carcasses, and use branch geometry to gain mechanical advantage. Hoisting is a staged process. Kill, secure, drag, heave, climb, and wedge. Each step reduces exposure. It is ritualized violence performed with mechanical precision. Trees isolate meat from ground, scavengers, and from sight. Elevated food is less accessible to hyenas and lions, both powerful but clumsy climbers in many landscapes. Leopards choose specific branches, strong forks, reachable with minimal climb, and shaded spots that slow decay. The tree becomes a silent vault for meat. Their rosetted coat blends shadow and leaf. While they haul prey, leopard fur erases contours, hiding their silhouette as they become part of the tree's geometry. In rainforests, they climb close to trunks. In savannas, they use thorny acacias. The strategy adapts to environment, always solving the same problem: keep meat away from others. Leopards learn from failure. A young cat that loses kills to hyenas may grow stronger, choose different trees, or become more nocturnal. Culture without words, passed through trial. Researchers have filmed leopards hoisting impalas, bushbucks, even young zebras. Bodies are dragged up trunks, sometimes left swaying, a grotesque lantern visible from below. One filmed instance shows repeated attempts. A leopard bites, pulls, repositions, then leaps. Failure begets adjustment until the carcass finds a secure perch. Every anatomical detail, every sensory acuity funnels toward one behavior: steal time with a kill. The tree becomes a stage where solitude and survival meet. Hunt begins with patience. Leopards stalk close, exploiting wind and shadow. When distance narrows, they explode into a short, decisive sprint and a crushing bite. They are ambush specialists. Concealment, slope, and timing replace pack speed. A single precise takedown yields hours of private feasting if the kill is secured. Night tilts the balance. Leopards hunt when competitors rest. Darkness reduces encounter chance with lions and increases the odds of dragging prey up trees unseen. They steal vulnerable animals: calves, juveniles, solitary antelope. Opportunism is key. A fleeting weakness in prey determines whether a carcass becomes a trophy in the canopy. Before lifting, leopards dismember or bite at joints to make the carcass manageable. They adapt on the spot, reducing drag and arranging limbs for the climb. Sometimes they haul by jaw alone, sometimes by dragging with forepaws. The choice depends on size, slope, and branch distance, a tacit engineering calculation. Hyenas and jackals patrol below, listening for struggles. Vultures signal a meal's presence. Leopards must act quickly to avoid a mob of opportunists eager to strip a carcass. Once stashed, the leopard may remain nearby, growling warnings or retreat and return under cover of night. The elevated meat is both treasure and liability. Lions dominate open ground. Leopards avoid direct conflict by shifting their dining room into trees, spaces lions rarely contest except in exceptional cases. Climbing with weight invites risk, falls, branch failure, or exposure to larger predators below. Every hoist balances potential gain against a dangerous gamble. Silent pause, soft pads, and controlled breathing allow approach and extraction without advertising the feast. The style is surgical, economical, and obsessively quiet. They exploit terrain like tools. Rock piles, fallen logs, and low branches become fulcrums. The leopard is an instinctive engineer turning landscape into leverage. Young leopards trial and error their way to competence. Some learn to use narrow branches to wedge meat. Intelligence and memory are as important as muscle. The feeding itself is savage. Blood, torn flesh, and the quiet consumption of life. The leopard eats alone, indifferent to our horror, driven only by hunger. On the branch, the cat eats slowly, pausing to listen. The canopy muffles sounds. The leopard consumes at leisure, while the ground below clutches rumors of meat. Leopards patrol irregularly. Their movement patterns reduce predictability, minimizing encounters with rivals. Hoisting behavior fits into a larger pattern of solitary secrecy. Territory is marked by scent and scratches. A hoisted carcass becomes a signpost of presence. It can attract mates or incite challenges. Food is also social currency. Though solitary, leopards are not mute socially. Calls, scent marks, and confrontations form a web of interactions. The tree stash is both refrigerator and message board. Males and females differ. Males take larger prey and hoist bigger carcasses. Females must balance feeding with raising cubs, sometimes moving kills to safe spots. Mothers stash food to feed hidden cubs. A hidden carcass can sustain a litter for days, crucial when hunting opportunities are scarce and cub survival hangs by a thread. When territories overlap, conflicts erupt. A hyena raid can cost days of effort. Leopards sometimes fight back fiercely, risking injury to defend a precious hoist. Leopards rarely form long-term alliances. Temporary tolerances occur. Two adults may tolerate each other briefly at abundant kills, but tree stashing remains an individual strategy. Human presence alters behavior. In persecuted regions, leopards shift to denser canopies and hoist earlier, adapting their ancient tactics to an increasingly hostile world. In some places, they edge into suburbs, dragging goats or dogs into trees at the fringe of human settlements, frightening reminders of their persistence and adaptability. Everything ties back: solitude, anatomy, stealth, and the constant pressure of competitors. The hoist is a behavioral solution etched into bone and habit. Leopards reproduce slowly. Gestation is about 90 to 105 days. Females choose secluded dens, where the calculus of food security and predation determines cub survival. Dens are hidden in caves, thickets, or tree hollows. Mothers move cubs frequently to avoid detection. Tree-hoisted meat can be lifelines during weaning. Cubs open eyes at 2 weeks, begin to follow mother at 2 months, and learn hunting over years. Hoisting is taught through observation and dangerous practice. A mother demonstrates stalking, pounce, and occasionally assists with early hoists. Cubs imitate, failing often, until muscle and cunning converge into competence. Food scarcity produces grim outcomes. Smaller cubs starve or are bullied aside. The struggle for milk and meat is a microcosm of nature's ruthless triage. Juveniles disperse to find their own territories. Dispersal carries high mortality. Those who survive refine hoisting skills into the efficient midnight engineers of the canopy. In the wild, leopards live up to 12-17 years. Death comes from starvation, disease, conflict, and, increasingly, human causes like habitat loss and retaliation. Females pay a cost. Raising cubs reduces hunting success and increases risk. The need to feed young shapes decisions, like where to stash food and when to hunt. Some females time litters to prey availability. Others double down on risk, hoisting more frequently to ensure cubs survive the lean months of drought or scarcity. Population density influences behavior. In crowded landscapes, leopards may hoist more often, or choose different trees to avoid detection by neighbors and scavengers. Poaching and livestock conflict reduce female numbers, fracturing populations. Fewer breeding adults means fewer cubs, and traditions like hoisting risk being lost with each death. Behavioral innovations like hoisting can be lost or amplified by environmental change. Rapid human alteration forces evolution on an unforgiving clock. Protecting mating grounds, prey populations, and trees used for hoists is essential. Conservation must preserve not only animals, but the behaviors that maintain ecosystems. Cubs are cultural vessels. They absorb hunting modes and hoisting techniques from mothers. If mothers vanish, so do lessons that took generations to refine. Reproduction, learning, and survival weave together. Hoisting is more than feeding. It's a learned tradition critical for lineage survival under predation pressure. Leopards shape ecosystems as mesopredators. By killing herbivores and hoisting remains, they influence scavenger communities and nutrient distribution across vertical space. By removing vulnerable prey and caching meat, leopards alter scavenger diets. This ripple affects vultures, hyenas, jackals, and even seed dispersal under stashed trees. In some regions, leopards act as keystone predators, controlling herbivore numbers and maintaining vegetation structure. Removing them invites trophic collapse. They provide scavengers with intermittent meals, reducing disease buildup. Stashed carcasses become nutrient pockets in tree canopies and soil below when decomposed. If leopards vanish, scavengers may surge and herbivore populations can explode, altering vegetation and water cycles. The hoist disappears, but the ecological consequences endure. When leopards prey on livestock, reprisals follow: poisoning, snaring, shooting. These acts not only kill animals, they erase behaviors central to ecosystem balance. Where community-based conservation exists, leopards persist. Incentives for coexistence reduce retaliatory killings and protect the trees and prey leopards need to survive. Scientists use camera traps and GPS collars to study hoisting. Each footage clip reveals decision-making, capacity limits, and the fragile logic behind stringing meat in branches. Roads and agriculture fragment habitat, reducing available trees for hoisting. Behavioral adaptations may follow, but often at a cost: more conflict and less survival. In a Tanzanian reserve, researchers noted that leopards hoisting reduced hyena scavenging by half. A single behavior stabilized an entire scavenger hierarchy. Watching a corpse swing in a tree invokes revulsion. But that image teaches something uncomfortable. Survival is messy. Beauty coexists with brutality in ecology. The leopard forces us to confront appetite and solitude. It practices a private violence we interpret as monstrous, but for the animal it is simply life sustained by cunning. We condemn killing, but we hunt too. Our interventions have driven leopards into conflict. Ethical choices must include protecting both species and the behaviors that evolved naturally. Fear of the leopard often masks fascination. The same instinct that preserves us from danger also draws us to study the dark genius of survival etched in its bones. Anatomy, sensory precision, and social pressure converge to create the hoisting behavior. Panthers, pardus, Panthera pardus, are specialists of solitude, architects of their own macabre larders. We watched stalking, killing, hauling, and hiding. Each act is a sentence in a survival manual authored by evolution, written in blood and muscle beneath the canopy. Protecting trees, prey, and corridors preserves not just leopards, but the complex ballet of interactions they perform. Conservation must consider behavior as much as numbers, support research, back community programs, and demand policies that reduce conflict. Save the trees where bodies hang. Save the predator that keeps wild systems honest. This leopard's macabre habit is a window into nature's machinery. Respecting it means grappling with discomfort and choosing stewardship over domination. Look again at that swinging carcass. It is grotesque, yes, and also a lesson. Life persists through cunning, violence, and the cold calculus of survival. We feel horror because we recognize a mirrored appetite. The leopard's solitude and secrecy force us to reflect on our place within a world that is neither kind nor cruel, just efficient. If we value wildness, we must accept its ugliness. Protecting predators means accepting scenes that make us uncomfortable and defending behaviors essential to ecosystem health. Picture the leopard retreating into shadow, full and alert, leaving its hung meal to dangle like a warning. The night reclaims the scene, and the lesson endures. Learn more, donate to conservation groups, and demand humane coexistence strategies. The survival of Panthera pardus depends on choices we make now, under the same dark sky. The shadow cat returns to silence. Its brutal ritual remains inscrutable yet explicable, an evolutionary answer to a world of theft and hunger. We leave with wonder and unease.